Welcome back to our minute-to-minute analysis of Matrix Resurrections. Last time, Thomas Anderson had a meeting with his boss, who shared strong similarities with Agent Smith. He is trying to convince Tom to create a new installment of the Matrix video game series, to which Tom disagrees. Today, we will meet another very important new character in the film, the Analyst. Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
After all these years, to be going back to where it all started. Back to the Matrix.
Back to the Matrix. These words have multiple implications. The boss is excited that they are going back to create new video games, but it's also a reference to Tom being out of touch with the Matrix for a long time. This phrase is also a meta phrase. It's an on-screen representation of when Warner was begging Lana to come back to make new Matrix movies. The boss then proceeds to say that they've already spoken to the marketing department while his lips and mouth are merging shut, just like what happened to Neo in the first Matrix movie.
What good is a phone call if you're unable to speak?
Interesting that the boss mentions that he had already spoken with marketing, because it means that the project has already been greenlit without Tom's approval. This is something that kind of happened behind the scenes with Lana Wachowski, since there was news that Warner was working on a prequel to The Matrix. As we've already mentioned in previous videos, the news does not sit well with Tom. He becomes anxious, the world begins to distort, and we are then present within the Analyst's house. Something interesting about this scene is that the lighting and camera movement leaves us wondering if this is the real world or a computer-generated world. The Analyst asks what Neo felt, to which Neo replies that he felt like he was having a mental breakdown.
What were you feeling at that point?
What was I feeling? I felt either I'm having a mental breakdown again, or I'm living inside a computer-generated reality that has imprisoned me again.
In the Analyst's office, we can find several fascinating knickknacks. There are the man's glasses and clothing, which are blue. In the Matrix universe, blue symbolizes ignorance. It is the color of the pill taken by people who decide to remain in the Matrix. There's also a photo of a black cat, which is the same cat that appears in the previous films, and is the Analyst's pet. And there are also a lot of frames of butterfly pictures in the room. The butterfly is a common symbol of transformation and change, as the creature goes through a radical metamorphosis from its caterpillar form to its final butterfly form. In the context of mental therapy, this represents the idea that the patient is in a process of change and personal growth. The butterfly can also symbolize the idea of liberation or release from bondage. In a sense, the butterfly could represent the patient's release from old patterns of thought or behavior that are no longer helpful or healthy. Since the butterfly is a common symbol of transformation and change, in the Matrix, it may symbolize the growth of its characters, particularly Neo, as they discover the truth behind their world and awaken to a new reality.
Not much of a choice.
No.
Maybe it's not as binary as that. Maybe there are other ways to understand what happened.
Thomas is being treated by this psychotherapist because he has suffered multiple crises where he has thought that his reality is false. The Analyst tries to keep Thomas stabilized. If the therapy worked, Thomas could be wrong in thinking that the world is fake. If it didn't work, then Thomas is right and he lives in a simulated reality. Then his therapist would be part of this simulation. Their session touches on topics such as simulated reality, freedom of choice, how sometimes the influence of others leads us to do things that we don't want to do, and it's a critique of how therapists try to solve all these existential issues with drugs.
Do you need a refill on your prescription?
Yeah.
Nowadays, many existential and social issues are due to the loss of purpose and questions that cannot be answered. In response, the Analyst prescribes more pills that will keep Thomas calm. Another critical point is that possibly the crisis that the Analyst refers to is the same one that Bugs witnessed before she woke up, but we'll talk about that later. Neo's medication is called altanafluxin. First, let's talk about its color. In the first Matrix movie, Neo had to choose between a blue and red pill. The blue pill would keep Neo in the dark, and this is the pill that he now takes regularly. Yet these blue pills appear to have a different function. Before, the blue pill was more symbolic. It was choosing to live in ignorance. It was possibly a sedative, as Morpheus mentioned that Neo would wake up in his bed.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe.
The original blue pill did not erase a person's memory, because as we saw in the comic book Life Less Empty, the woman that took the blue pill still remembered meeting Morpheus. So we must assume that the Antonafloxacin is modified by the machines to serve different purposes. This new blue pill is designed to suppress the desire to question reality. It treated those thoughts that worked like a virus that slowly takes over a person's mind.
You felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad.
The pills try to suppress and possibly cause amnesia as well. The pill is manufactured by a pharmaceutical company called Folybridge, which is an Alice in Wonderland reference. This means that these blue pills are mass-produced for the humans connected in the simulation. Before, the blue pill was a simple once-in-a-lifetime choice, but now it's another system of control. How did this happen? Well, the answer can be found in Matrix Revolutions. Most, if not all, the humans connected to the simulation were assimilated by Agent Smith. Even though the architect did reset the Matrix in the end, some humans still subconsciously remembered what happened. They relived those horrible moments in their nightmares and developed post-traumatic stress. The psychological torment may have caused humans to awaken from the simulation. Remember that a truce was reached between Sion and the machines. The architect agreed that those who wanted out can leave, but perhaps too many were leaving. Ergo, the architect designed this new control method for those people who remembered what happened with Smith, to use Antonafloxacin to suppress those memories. Later, in Neo's bathroom, Neo's reflection on the mirror is of an older man that looks nothing like Neo, which is the form that he and everyone else in the simulation perceives him as. Here we have two interpretations. One is related to the plot of the film, and the other is a more personal one related to the Wachowskis. Thomas's reflection is different from how he feels inside. Even though the pills are meant to suppress self-misidentification, the simulation also put a different body on Neo so that the Resistance could not find him. They kept him hidden for decades. The idea that the system assigns you a virtual body that looks nothing like your physical body and uses pills to hide your identity is a reference to Lana and Lily Wachowski's life experiences. Lana has gone on record saying that in the past, when she looked in the mirror, she did not recognize the person she saw in the reflection. Those moments of self-discovery in Lana and Lily's lives are depicted on screen for everyone to see. Next time, we will see how Warner Brothers plan to return to the Matrix.
Do you feel not like yourself? Has depression led you to question reality? Do you have an extreme desire to jump off a building? You may be suffering from a strange neurological condition caused by an imbalance in the brain known as VDTs. Folybridge has the solution for you. Introducing Antonafloxacin, the world's first and only blue pill you will ever need to start your day right and simply forget all your troubles, literally. Ask your doctor about Antonafloxacin today and join the millions living in blissful ignorance.
For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.